everybody. Troy Landwehr here, and I'm with Molly Trotter, and I'm so excited to do this interview. And we just met. How long ago did we meet?
Probably like 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago, all right? So we're at a success convention, and we just ran in, we started talking. I said, oh my gosh, somebody that's young, vibrant, youthful, and a woman, right? It's just, I've been interviewing all men, basically, old people,
I'm glad
right?
I can break that trend there.
You know, I'm tired of talking to old people about vitamins, okay? So this is going to be awesome. And so so you've had a lot of success in this industry, and so I know we talked a little bit downstairs, you know, earlier, but I want the people to know a little bit about you, your background, what caught your eye about this industry?
Oh gosh, so many great questions. So first with the background, I went to school to be a news anchor and reporter, and I did that for 5 years. Got in there because I really wanted to tell people stories, and then when I found out that the money just wasn't there, it all comes down to money and who gets on the news, politics, and I basically got paid to depress people. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. So 2 of the 5 years in, I knew I was going to do something different, and then that just happened to be network marketing. So I used to be that person who was like, oh, it's a scam, it's a scheme, because I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was just bitter about it. But then I actually dove into it, and I was like, this is genius. Like, why wouldn't people do this? And then you dive in deeper about it. And what I love about network marketing the most is the fact that you literally get paid to become the best version of yourself and show people how to do that. So the better you get, the more you get paid, and results are everything. That's your ultimate feedback. So for me, it's like I am definitely growing every single day, always a student. I'm blessed to have really good business partners that push me in the direction that's going to benefit more than just me. So I'm just really excited for what the future is going to hold.
Wow, and that's, you know, it's awesome. And so what would you give advice? Because, you know, you look at, there's a lot of young people out there, right? And we don't see necessarily a lot of young people in this industry if you look at the average age of this group here. What would you give advice to people of how to attract younger people? How do you talk to them? How do you go out and get them?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I see all of the younger crowd. You know, I have a lot of people in my organization that are 17, 18, 19, mid-20s. I'm going to be 29 in February. So seeing today when we're in the event, seeing all of the older generations, 40s plus, I'm saying they're old, but what I'm saying just, you know, a little bit more experience, I should say. That was awesome. I sat behind a lady that was 77 years old in network marketing. I was like, I think you're going to be one of my biggest takeaways because I'm only 28. Right. And the impact that I'm going to be able to have on these people at 77, I'm like, this is insane. So I would say, sorry, your question was what to say to the younger generations?
Yeah, how do you approach them?
You know, everybody has a different story. And, you know, we, at a very young age, we're told to dream, right? And then somewhere along the way, somebody's like, nope, you can't do that. You got to get realistic and then go this corporate 9-to-5 route. Well, and then you just get stuck in this rat race. You get stuck in this rut. So I talk to a lot of young adults who, I'm like, you honestly don't have to go to college to be really wealthy and to be a really good person and to have that success. You don't. I'm not in my profession that I went to school for. I'm still paying back college loans, and I'm not even doing that anymore. However, it did serve a purpose. But if you don't know what you want to do, don't go to college and spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to have that in debt to just go work at McDonald's. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just like that's what's happening. It's like a lot of people are graduating. Nobody's getting careers, lifelong careers. They're just getting the easy, like I need to pay my bills.
Right.
There's more to it.
Right. And now talk about how the industry has changed a little bit. You know, you're an influencer now. You know, you're on social media. You know, I remember I was telling people that someone, I don't want to admit how long ago. It was like 6 months ago. I said to this this girl, I go, oh yeah, I'm on social media. I go, I'm on Facebook, and she goes, oh, that's for old people. Okay, so I'm officially old. So how are you using social media and digital marketing, being an influencer, to help your business?
Honestly, I love Facebook. I probably get better. I have better connections with more polished individuals on Facebook. There's a lot of people on Instagram. There's just so many people on Instagram that it's insane. With Facebook, they cap it at 5,000, then anybody can follow you, right? With Facebook, there's just a little bit older generation, and they're still hungry, and they already have wealth. They just want another vehicle. On Instagram, I actually find a lot of people that you know, play a really good front and think that they, you know, have money, have that success, whatever. They just have a really good following for whatever reason. So I would just say I use Instagram and Facebook primarily because I want to capture both generations, everybody really. And so that being said, A lot of people, I say, sleep on Facebook. Like they're just like, oh no, it's old, nobody's using it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. More for me, less for you. If you want to go on Instagram and just limit yourself, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're limiting themselves if they're not on Facebook as well. But Instagram, definitely hot. A lot of really good tricks out there to be able to get out there and to impact people on a larger scale.
That's cool. So what tips can you give people that are just starting off? How do you start someone fresh in this industry?
Oh goodness. Well, first and foremost, it's like I want to understand somebody's why. Why are they doing it? It's more than just the money. Network marketing provides a financial freedom, a freedom aspect. But when you get to the nitty gritty of somebody's why, you have that pain aspect there. That's going to sting. That's going to it's going to drag you, on days that you don't want to do it. I have different reasons. My number one, that will always be my number one, is my future family. I'm not married. I don't have kids, but I will one day. And I want mom to be home. I want mom to raise them. I don't want somebody else to raise them. And being in the news industry, somebody else was going to raise them. That was just the path I was on. I didn't want that. My legacy, true legacy, is going to be what I build with my family. But the impact I want to have long lasting is for them to see, what did mom do?
Right.
And that, helping families, moms, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever that is.
Right.
So the biggest thing, whether it's you're out there on social media, you want to brand yourself, whatever company you're with, be transparent, be open, and it can be really scary. I literally get paid to tell people or show people what to do on social media, and just to be transparent, just be themselves. Because chances are, when you're yourself, those little weird quirks that you think nobody's going to relate to, you're going to have so many more people respect you and relate to you on that than you think, because nobody wants to come out and have something weird on the social media highlight reel.
Right.
So I just say, be yourself, do what you need to do. And from my journey to news anchor to now, and I have such a bright future ahead, I know that, and I'm really excited for that. I've been transparent the whole time, the ups, the downs, crying, mad, angry, super exciting, big moments. But I have so much more ahead of me, and it's more the people I get to bless. It's not about me.
That's interesting, because, people watching here, they're probably looking at this and saying, what a dream it would be if they were a news anchor. Because you have to have everything just right to be a news anchor. The personality, the drive, the certain look that the network wants. And so now, that probably was a dream of yours, right? And now the answers have changed. One of the things we talked about on here in Time with Troy is that the answers always change. There was a professor that gave it the same test 2 years in a row. It was Einstein. And the student teacher said, why did you give the same test 2 years in a row? Why would you do that? And he said, well, the answers have changed. The answers have changed. So the answers have changed for you. You talked about you wanted a quality of life. You wanted to be home when you do have kids. You're putting in the sweat now to be fit later, which is your background as well, being in fitness, right? But the answers have changed. So you come to an event like this, and you're learning, you're around sharp people, and now you're being able to bring that back to people. Today, what is it, some of the things that you've learned that you felt like, okay, I'm going to give back to my team to help them grow? Because it seems like you really want to inspire people and help them get to where you're at.
Always being a student, number one. And I think the biggest takeaway so far is we just heard John Maxwell speak, and I have like 20 of his books. He's like my go-to in his personal development. So just hearing him and just feeling his energy and passion for people, yet being so humble at the same time, is something I'm definitely a big student on right now. Just being humble and just that right there. I would say the other thing is teaching other people how to be influencers. What do you want to influence people about? What matters to you? I already know what I can do, but it's not about me, it's about you. So how can I help you get from point A to point B, C, D, all the way to Z? Like, what is it that you want? Because that's where my success comes. I would do this if I got paid or not. That's why I love this industry. Obviously, the money makes the world go round, so we got to get paid, right? So why not get paid to help people and truly help them develop themselves? Because it was always in there. You just got to pull the diamond out and just dust it off a little bit and let it have that shine.
Well, we talk. It's interesting because we talk about this here in fitness, and that's a background of yours, and we talk about you dig your grave with your teeth, okay? And if you put in the sweat now to be fit later, okay? But a lot of people, they start something and they quit. A lot of people just, if it doesn't go their way, they don't realize that success is failing, succeeding. Tell me how you deal with that. How do you deal with that with your people, and how have you failed in life, and what have your failures been? Because a lot of people look at you and say, oh, I know why she's successful. You're very polished in front of the camera, but tell people about a little bit what you've failed at and then how you succeeded.
Oh goodness, that's a lot. I mean, how much time do we have? 'Cause it's gonna take a while.
Or what advice you can give them?
A failure and where I've succeeded. I would say I'm just really consistent when I want something. When I want something, nothing gets in my way. And that comes down to the why. So you have to be very, very dedicated to whatever it is that you want to do, and you just got to go for it. Like when it comes to being a TV news anchor, I got told, I put out, I think like over 100 applications, got responses from like 3 of them. And then one was like, we'll see, you didn't come from this big journalism school, got a foot in the door just for them to treat me like garbage.
Right.
Like, no offense to anybody out there that does news. I have a lot of friends that do that, but it's like, no. I'm not gonna have somebody be the puppeteer in my life. Like, I'm gonna run it, and be around people that support me in that. So I would say that the biggest failure that I've had, I'll be very honest, sometimes I could have like a pride and ego issue.
Okay.
And I'm just being very honest, and I don't really want to admit that, but it's definitely something you can ask my business partners. We work on it. But the only thing is that it comes from a loving place of like wanting to really help people and like be that rock for them when they don't maybe have a rock in their own life. But at the same time, I need to be humble enough, and that's why I mentioned it earlier. So it's definitely something I'm working on, to know that like, hey, I need to be a student even when you think you know it. Whether they're older, younger, it doesn't matter what the success is. You can always learn something from somebody.
Right.
And it's not that I ever thought that I was better than anybody else. It's just something you learn. And I think that honestly came from being a news anchor, because it's like holier than thou, which we really aren't. Our job is just, my old job was just more public than most people.
I love that. I love that.
It's awesome. Yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, you're famous. I'm like, no, my job is just in front of the camera. Like, that's just, I get paid to perform. So it's just coming from a place of that, of like, less of me, more of them, duplicating me into them. And that's something that I'm definitely really working on. And when that happens,
never stop growing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I love that. I love you said nothing in nature stays the same. You're either growing or declining. So if you continue to work better, that's great. Okay, so let's tell people how they can find you. How can they get a hold of you? Where can they follow you if they want more of their knowledge? They're probably going to be thirsty for more after this interview. How do they get a hold of you, or how do they find you?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for being able to allow me just to share my story, because we all have a story. And I think, we're selfish if we don't share, because we can help people along the way. Even if it's just one, you're doing that. So how you can follow me is you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Molly Trotter. You can find me there. Shoot me a message, and just find that connection point. Just if there's something about this, what I said resonates with you, just share that, be open, and let's connect. It's all about, it's a people business. It's creating friendships and relationships, and I get paid to do that. So I love it.
Well, thanks for being on Time with Troy, where time is worth more than money. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right.